Hi there, this is Niki Rowland, and today I'm making a layout for Bramble Fox. I'm using one of the perspectives that says hot, hot, hot in yellow from the July Fox box, which should be landing on doorsteps any minute. So you can see that I have a bit of a crazy photo going on there. It's a very beautiful shot of me with one of those awful Snapchat filters on that makes your mouth huge, and this one had hardly any teeth, so it was a particularly beautiful photo there. So I thought I'd make a bit of a tongue-in-cheek layout with this perspective that says hot, 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 and I'm going to call it feeling hot, hot, hot. What I'm doing is I've used a cut file. I think it was from Paper Issues. I think it was a free one, and I've cut it out of Heidi Swap Colour Fresh pattern paper, and I have stitched around the outside. The cut file came with stitching holes already in it, so I've just used chunky white thread and stitched around the edge of the sun. I've also backed the middle of the sun on white cardstock so that I can position it around on my layout, put things under it, and they won't show through all of those holes. So I'm using a mixture of Heidi Swap Colour Fresh and also Maggie Holmes Sunny Days to document my holiday photos from when I was away in April, yeah, Easter time, and I've done all of my other photos in this collection along with some others as well, so I thought I'd carry on and use up the remainder of my stash of Maggie Holmes Sunny Days, which was one of my favourite collections of the year so far. So yeah, I've not got much left, to be honest. I've hardly got any actually, so I'm just working with what I've got to use up the last bits. But I had this sheet of paper, or part sheet of paper, with those spots all over it and stripes on the side, I've cut out some clouds. You saw that I hand drew those and just cut them out. They're going to go at the top. I wanted to bring the pattern up to the top of the layout, as well as a strip underneath the main elements too. So I'm just going through and grabbing a few bits and pieces that might work for this layout. So really this is the extent of my Sunny Days collection. There's not much else. Plus I have a few bits from the Hip Kit Club that this all came in. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out my layout here, the arrangement of it, and how it's all going to look. So I've got a total disaster at the moment. I've run out of marshmallow cardstock, which is awful. I never do that. I don't know how that has happened. So while I'm waiting for the next batch to arrive, I decided that this layout would not have any mixed media on it. I was planning to put some colour behind the sun, but because I'm out of cardstock, I've gone back to a regular sheet of cardstock and decided to embellish this layout purely with paper elements and embellishments instead of mixed media. I will probably add some flicks of paint, that kind of thing, but nothing that will saturate the cardstock, because this is not marshmallow, it is just regular basil. So I decided those clouds didn't stand out enough on the background, so I've mounted them on some of the same yellow that I cut the sun from, and I've just cut them out. I was going to stitch around them, but I actually cut my border a bit too narrow, so I didn't think the stitching would work. So I've gone with just mounting them on the yellow, and that absolutely makes them pop off the page loads more, so that's good. I'm just mounting my photo there on another piece of Sunny Days paper. And I've got some journaling cards that came in this kit, which I wanted to get used up, or use some of anyway. So I've pulled out a few of those to see what coordinates with the layout and the outside edge of my cardstock. So I'm just kind of working through, figuring out what elements I want on this page. I'm not overly happy with the background. I've tried a few different ones, as in the border, yeah, eventually settle on this one, which is another sheet of the Heidi Swap Colour Fresh collection. It's really, really pretty. It's a multicoloured sheet of paper, and it's really beautiful. So that worked well. It had the perfect colours. It had the yellow to match the yellow sun, and it had all different colours in it as well, which just went really well with the journaling cards and the flowers and things that I'd got behind the photos. So yeah, so it's all kind of starting to come together. This is the bare basics of what the layout will look like. And once all that's stuck in place, then I can start adding in all of the other bits and pieces. So I have got a few stickers from Maggie Home Sunny Days. So I'm using the journaling cards. I have got some ephemera left over from this kit, which is there's some exclusive hit kit, and there's also some Heidi Swap Colour Fresh 2. And I also have those hearts on the right hand side that you can see. They're enamel hearts and they're really, really cute. So I'll probably add those as well. I love all the different colours. I really love the bright yellow on the hot, hot, hot. I love a yellow layout or a yellow element on my pages. I think it just reminds me of summer and sunny and happy. It's such a happy colour. And I was delighted to see the some of the bright yellow in the July Fox box. The Fox boxes really are great value. If you don't have one already, if you don't already subscribe, check out the details, because the cost of it is really cost effective if you're going to buy lots of perspectives, which, you know, we all do because they're just fabulous. I've got so many, I love them. So yeah, so I was happy to get this bright yellow hot, hot, hot. I'm using it in a bit of a tongue-in-cheek way, but, you know, sometimes it's fun just to do a crazy layout instead of serious memories. You know, this was just a funny day and we were taking loads of Snapchat photos, and it's just one of those ridiculous photos that we have these days. Great fun, they're great fun. My daughter thinks they're the funniest thing in the world, so she loves it, particularly when I do the horrible ones of me rather than, like, you know, the cutesy ones. So anyway, I'm pushing the papers around on this layout. I didn't want everything to look too squashed up at the top, so I've got the two clouds. They're quite big. The sun is obviously huge, and I have the strip of papers going across the middle of the layout too. So I just wanted to make sure that it didn't all look too squashed, so I moved it all down a little bit there, and now I'm just getting everything stuck in place. So I'm adding my photo now. I'm confident enough to add my photo, and then I'm really going for it with the embellishments from the sticker sheets that I've got and the ephemera. And I'm just going through and working out what will go, like phrases and things, what will go with the layout and what won't. So I've got, at the moment, I've got look on the sunny side at the top there. That obviously goes perfectly. I've got the little gold word to the left of my photo that says just chillin'. I've got another phrase sticker that says sun, and then now I'm adding obviously my hot, hot, hot. I'm going to add to that title by using the word feeling at the top of it, so I'll go through and add that in a minute. I actually decided that the look on the sunny side didn't really go with the cloud, and that's because the background of the sticker for look on the sunny side is a little bit whiter than the background of the cloud that it's on. So I decided I didn't like it, so I took it off. And then I'm just getting my cloud stuck in place now. So I tend to stick the bottom edge of my embellishments or photos or whatever with tape, so they're flat, and then I raise the top up on foam pads. And the reason for that is so that I quite often cluster my embellishments around, and I like them to be all layered on top of each other, and therefore if something is flat at the bottom, that makes it easier to lay embellishments on top of. So that is why I do that. You can see that I'm just going around, tucking bits in, adding things. Where the stickers aren't particularly sticky, I've just gone through and added some foam pads, especially when things are on different levels as well. I need to go in and add foam pads as well. Just adding in those enamel hearts there. And I'm also going to add some gold twine. It's like a golden metallic thread. So I like, there we go, I'm just adding it behind the photo and the cluster there. I like to add a little bit of interest to my layouts. I love the metallic that this thread gives me, so it just gives a little bit of extra shimmer and sparkle, which, you know, suits me really well. So I've added one to the bottom left of the photo and one to the top right of the photo. They kind of balance each other out and give me a couple of areas there with the extra sparkle. It just makes my photo cluster one big photo cluster. It's obviously, you can see where the photo is and it's extended either side. I like to do this. I like to make my clusters all kind of touch each other, if you like, just so that they look kind of seamless. Yeah, I find that extending out existing existing clusters, whether they're from the photo or from other embellishment clusters, works really well. It's a great way of making the layout all come together. So I just replaced those hearts at the top. I decided the orangey colours wasn't right, so I added in yellowy colours instead. Adding a couple of puffy stickers from the one of the sticker sheets, Maggie Home Sunny Days sticker sheets. getting that in place. And I'm nearly done now. I'm just adding in the last few bits and pieces. So I decided that I did want to add some paint splashes, and I wanted to use Shimmer's Pink Champagne for that, which is a creamies. Now, for anyone who's not familiar with Shimmer's products, creamies and inklings are hard watercolour paints. They're like effectively like using a watercolour palette. What I do is I put a little bit of water in there and I let it sit for a few minutes to kind of melt the paint on the top. And then I can pick it up and use it as a splatter with my paintbrush. I'm just adding in some sequins because all layouts need sequins. So these are by Spiegelmum Scraps, and they're called Good Vibes, I think. So they're really pretty, lots of pink ones. So I wanted to add in lots of pink ones and yellow ones because that obviously goes with the colours that I have going on the layout. So I'm just sticking those down by moving my sequin out of the way, putting a little bit of glossy accents down, and then putting my sequin back in place as well. So that is my sequins. And then now that that is done, I can add in my shimmers. But before I do that, I'm going to do my title because I kind of forgot I was gonna do this feeling hot, hot, hot. And then I got to this point, I was like, oh no, I haven't done it. So I put those stickers, they're highly swapped ones. I put those onto my layout, and I didn't look right. So I've put them onto a piece of white paper, and I'm just trimming around it so that basically my stickers have a white border. And the reason for doing this is because I had loads of patterns. I tried to put my stickers on plain background, but I couldn't in this occasion because I'd already got lots of stuff going on at the top of my photo. So I've had like a journaling card that showed through the letters, etc. So it just didn't look right. So I've mounted it on white, given it a white border, white background, and therefore I can, it reads much better now. It's much more clear. So there we go. I have my title in place, feeling hot, hot, hot. What a ridiculous photo that is of me. Every time I look at it, I think, oh my God. But there you go. Oh, and I found some sequins that I forgot to stick down too. So just getting those in place as well. Then it really now is time for me to add my Shimmers paint. So it's nice and runny now, is that the word? I'm able to pick it up, it's melted a bit, so I picked it up with my paintbrush directly from the pot and just splattered it all over just to give my layout a little bit of an explosion feeling. I do like a bit of an explosion of colour and paint splatters. So there we go, I am done, other than writing in my journaling. So I just had a moment there, I was trying to think what I could do there. Where I should put it at the bottom, and I decided that on the cloud where that sunny day sticker was originally would be ideal. So I've written my journaling in there. I've gone for a light grey pen because I think the black would have been too bold in these circumstances. Went for light grey and underlined with a ruler. There you go, that is me done. Thank you so much for joining me today. Head over to the Bramble Fox website to pick yourself up a Foxbox subscription. That was Niki Rowland for Bramble Fox.